In today's episode, we are diving into the fascinating world of diplomatic life, not through the lens of diplomats themselves, but through the experiences of their partners. NinaAfHällström, the spouse of Mr. Eric F. Hällström, the Consul General of Finland in Mumbai. But beyond her diplomatic route, she brings her own remarkable journey to the table. Currently serves as the executive director of an organization dedicated to people with disabilities. Nina is also an experienced politician, active in local politics in the city of Espoo since 2012. She has also held key positions including city board member, group leader, city of the Swedish delegation, and vice chair of the negotiation delegation. The municipal election and the election for the Western Uusimaa-Valving County were held in April this year. Nina was a candidate in both elections for the Swedish People's Party in Finland, and she earned the voters' trust. She became a member in the City Council of Espoo as well as a member of the Council of the Western Uusimaa-Valving County. So let me ask you one question. How many countries have you lived in so far?
I think it makes 5 or 4. We've been in Brazil, our first posting. Then we went directly from there to Geneva. Then we came back to Finland. After that, we stayed in Finland for some years, and then we went to Netherlands. Stayed there for 2 years. Then again back to Finland, and then we came to India, to Delhi. So it makes 4 countries, and now we are in Mumbai.
So that means you have experienced life across different cultures and different geographies of the world.
Yes,
and I'm sure that brings both excitement and challenges.
Yeah, that is true. It has, as everything, it has 2 sides of it. There's positive sides, but there's also the back sides of the thing. So I have experienced everything, I think.
Because every place is unique, and it obviously takes some time to adjust in the new environment with the new people. So broadly, if I have to ask you the kind of challenges you faced, in adapting to new environments, how did you overcome them?
Well, the countries that we have lived in are very different from each other. So the challenges are maybe a little bit different also. First of all, language is one thing, and communication, that can be a challenge if you don't speak the local language. So then you have to learn that, and then obviously things get easier. And then of course it's to find your networks and find some friends and find something to do that varies from country to country, of course. But as we have many children, so in a way, as an adult, you have to adjust your life and make it good for children. You have to put them in daycare or in play school or in school. Then you have the school transport, you meet people. So in that way, when you have children with you, finding the networks and friends, it's maybe easier than if you are without the children.
I totally get your point. And I guess the tenure for every posting is around 4 years or so, right?
Well, it depends a little bit, but it's 3 to 4 years generally. And generally you do 2 postings after each other, but that's the general rule, but it doesn't have to be like that. We were 3 years in Brazil, and after that we were straight away 4 years in Geneva. So we were totally out for 7 years.
That's not a small period.
Yeah, 7 years. We stayed the first round, so to say. We were 7 years out of Finland, but we visited Finland every summer. You usually do 2 postings after each other, but that's the kind of the main general rule. But there's a lot of exceptions.
And I believe, Nina, no matter how closely connected we are to our roots, to our culture, but then the environment impacts us. The entire milieu influences us. And I'm reminded of this every time I see you wearing sari or some Indian attire. And I feel that is such a beautiful reflection of how cultures can influence and blend. My question to you is, how do you maintain your personal identity and values while representing your country in a foreign land uh, with different traditions and cultural expectations?
A very good question. Actually, I feel that it was, in a way, especially when we had our children with us, it's you are very aware of your own culture as you are far away. It kind of accentuates that you miss your own culture. So we, at least as we are Finnish people, we want to keep for the children the traditions that we have in Finland. We celebrate Christmas, we have Easter bunnies, and the Independence Day, we do festivities at our home, so that the children will see how our culture is and how we celebrate certain festivals and holidays in Finland. So I think, and we were with the children, we were reading a lot. We were reading books. I had loads of books with me when we came, so I was reading stories in our native language, so that they kept the language. But then you also want to teach the children that about diversity, and it's important to respect other
cultures
and other manners, and it's a very rewarding things to learn about other cultures. So and of course, when children are small, they are like, sponges. They suck.
They absorb everything.
Everything from the surroundings. But for our children and for our family, it has been very important to maintain the language. That has been a very important issue, and we have been speaking in Swedish, as that is our mother tongue, and reading and writing very actively with all the children. So
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on this point, that maintaining your culture, staying connected with your roots, especially when you are moving from one country to another country.
Yeah. And then I can say that now when we don't have children with us, so I feel it's also very rewarding to learn about other cultures and learn about the habits and learn about the religion. And I think it's very difficult to be a diplomat if you are not interested in other cultures and other people. So I think both me and my husband, we have that interest. So I think it comes quite naturally that you are open for different ideas and different people. And of course, my husband, as he works as a diplomat, his role is to represent the Finnish people and the government of Finland here. But then on the other hand, we have a keen interest in different cultures.
But you will agree with me that when we come from different cultures, different cultural backgrounds, our perspectives can be quite different too.
Yes.
Because what may seem funny or kind of humorous to me could be seen as inappropriate or offensive to someone from different culture.
Yes.
I believe these are some of the real challenges. So in situation like this, when people you are in a different country of different language, different culture, what has been your approach to build new meaningful relationships with people, or you always want to make some friends around you?
Well, I think it's this interest of cultures and being interested in people. I think that helps a lot. And then of course, before you move to a different country, you do your home lesson. You study a little bit. You go on. There's books, and you study about the habits and stuff like that. And then I think it's important to have the overall respect and understanding that, for instance, religion has a very different role in my country than it has here in India. So you need to understand, kind of accept that it is a difference. And you cannot go out there and say, I cannot go out there and say that this is the way we do it in Finland and that's the most correct way to do it.
Yes.
Be very humble and listen to people, but I don't have to change my religion or change my views. You just have to have that. I think it's in all communication with people. You have to have respect for other ways of saying, other ways of behaving, and that's the way it goes. And I enjoy talking to people and meeting people, and that gives you an idea a little bit how a country is. Sometimes, because we live in Espoo, it's the second largest city in Finland, and there's around maybe 15,000 Indians living there, and usually when I go back, so I recognize Indians quite a lot.
I never knew that so many.
There's we have a university there, a technical university, and then there's a lot of
Indian students come over there.
Students study, and then also there's these innovation hubs. So there's also Indians working. So it's funny then when I walk around and I can go to a store, and this one time I went to this, maybe it was H&M or something, for looking for children's clothing for my grandchildren, and then there was this lady, and she was with her daughter, maybe 4-year-old, and they were roaming around there, and then I said, "Oh, hi, where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from India." So we chatted for an hour and a half, and she was explaining me what they were doing, and I even met her husband, and because it was in a shopping, so he came there. So it was really funny. And
I think invariably for every human being, navigating cross-cultural differences has always been challenging. And of course, so is making new friends in new geographies, and then to have this feeling that now I am also part of this country, and you feel now I am also part of this culture.
Yeah, in a way, but then there is also this different, because you know that you are not a part of this culture, that you are different, you look different. So there is this, but that's and especially in our case, as we are staying for some years and then we go back, so we know from the beginning that it's going to be limited, the time. So I mean, the sensation probably would be totally different if you knew that you are going to stay here for 10 years or maybe for a longer period of time. But we know it's max 4 years, and then we go back. People are, of course, different in that sense, how they feel, but we have been doing this now 4 or 5 times, going to a country, moving out, and for children it's very, very different. I remember when we moved home from Geneva, where the children got very attached to everything there. So even 6 months later, even a year later, there was this one child. She was asking, "Mom, when are we moving back to Geneva?" So I mean, for children, the time perspective is so different, and for adults, you have to have perspective, and you have to see that this is our job now. We are representing Finland here, and you have to do the best out of it.
You carry such an important role in the bigger picture. You are part of building cultural bridges between nations, and at the same time, you have your own goals, your own dreams.
Yes.
So I just wanted to understand, how do you manage both supporting diplomatic work while also following your own path?
Well, that can be a little bit difficult sometimes, but in general, in my case, I think I always tried to find something of my own, and I have been active in different way. In certain countries, I have been teaching Swedish or some texts or something, and try to find something that is mine. And of course, it has been easy in a way when I have the children were with us. There was so much going on with school and play groups, and so it was in a way kind of easier than when you're without the children. Then it's you have to be really active. You cannot sit just home and wait that something is going to happen. You have to be active and do things and connect with people. So I guess that's the one way to manage it. I don't know, what was the original question again?
So anyway, we are coming to the similar question, and that is, you are also a politician back home in
Yes,
Finland.
yes,
And that's a whole different level of responsibility, I believe.
yes.
So do you feel that living in different countries, different culture has added some sort of value to your role as a politician back home in Finland, or it has offered you some kind of perspective about leadership, that the kind of approach you feel is very unique, which was only possible because you happen to live in so many countries?
Well, I don't know, maybe especially as a person,
Yeah.
I have broadened my knowledge about countries. I have better knowledge of languages, and I have learned some languages, and I guess it's maybe has strengthened my idea about diversity, that we are human beings all over the world. We have the same needs, and then how we lead our lives, that varies, of course, but you have to have respect that.
Sure.
And I think, of course, when you live outside Finland, you get perspective on Finland also. When you're far away, you realize that actually things are quite well in Finland, because then when you are in Finland, especially as a politician, you tend to go through everything, that you learn and that you see, or so that widens the perspective, I think, and I am very grateful for that, that I have had the opportunity to do that. So,
and before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to share that you feel we could not touch upon during this conversation?
It's many things comes around respect, that you respect different people, and how people look, how they are, and you don't have to accept everything, but you have to respect that.
Sure,
that people are different. So I think that's a huge part of to seeing the great thing and the positive thing diversity has in everywhere. I think that's and especially here in India, you sense that there is, for instance, there's several religions here, and people live close to each other, and also as politicians, you see that different political views, that's okay, and you have to have respect for that also. It's not the people who should be fighting, it's the ideas and the how to solve things. It's the matters, not the people who fight. So I think
Absolutely.
yes.
So Nina, it was truly a delight talking to you, and thank you so much for such an insightful, refreshing conversation.
Thank you for inviting me for this. Very
Thank you
nice.
so much.
Thank you.